So hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for Strategic Solutions. What's the question for today, ma'am?
The question is, we have a staff member that is trying to go on a temporary total disability and says the doctor cannot give us any information about the accommodations that she needs because it is an open case. It's a car accident. So we have asked for her to have the doctor give us information of what accommodation is needed. How can we make our request clearer? And what do we do in situations like this when employees and doctors are not understanding what we are asking for?
So what we have done is created that medical certificate. So it really is clear. Okay, so what we're talking about is an employee who is saying they can't get the medical information they need. And this happens a lot, and it's not necessarily the employee's fault, and that's the important thing. If the employee is having a hard time getting the doctor to understand why they need to complete that medical certificate, what we're doing is educating the employee. So we're sitting down with the employee, taking that medical certificate that we use that explains how you identify the disability, and then how we go through each part of the job description and ask the employee to explain to the medical provider that right now, if they can't provide us information, the medical provider is putting the employee in a position that they will lose their job. Because an employee who's in a major car accident that can't tell you when they can return to work because they just don't know, they're not sure. An employee who can't tell you when they're going to return to work because they just don't know doesn't get to have unpredictable, unreliable, ongoing leave under the ADA while their doctor figures it out. The ADA provides an opportunity for an employee with a known medical condition or disability that meets the criteria for ADA, your state, if you've got California, some of the other states, and that they are able to perform their job with an accommodation. Think this through logically, and this is how you explain it to the employee. If you're unable to tell me when you can come back to work, or even how I could assist you in doing your job, then you're not really asking for the accommodation. You're asking for unpredictable leave, and you can't give me a return to work date. Now, a lot of you are generous and bending the ADA a little bit to say, you know what, let's see a little bit of room for work hardening or light duty or modified duty or reduced wage schedule, or how about a couple more weeks of leave, even though we don't know when you can return. And I get the concept. And it's not really an ADA accommodation. What you're doing is delaying the ADA process and giving them a temporary modification to allow them to be able to inform you what they need to return to work. The challenge is you want to have a timeline on that temporary accommodation, not the length of the medical certificate to the next meeting 30 days from now, but a deadline as in, you get 2 weeks of modified light duty or additional leave once FMLA ends, everybody. So you can do the best job you can to help your doctor understand how to inform us how, with your disability, you're able to perform the essential functions of the job. The ADA only has one purpose: to allow an employee an accommodation that assists them and be able to perform the functions of the job. And if what they're asking for you for doesn't do that, then the question is, well, what do you need and how long? Leave. Okay, how long? Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, that's not an ADA accommodation. That's unpredictable, unreliable attendance, and we don't accommodate that. But if you think you could get an answer in a couple of weeks, or maybe you even give them 30 days, and this same thing applies, everybody, to this light duty, modified duty schedule concept. You are giving them a finite period of time to show they are capable of being accommodated and then return to work. And that's what the ADA is always about. We want to start our conversation there. We want to end our conversation there. And we really want to focus on that when they're asking for additional leave. Keep in mind, they've already had 3 months and they're your employee and they've been gone for a quarter of the year already. Now, how can you operate your business if 20% or 10% of your employees are gone, 8%, 30% or 50% of the year. This is when it starts getting really serious, and organizations have to literally hire extra people to fill in because there is such a high usage of FMLA. Okay, but after the 3 months, you're in control. And if they're asking for a leave and you're still utilizing an antiquated workers' comp, late duty, modified duty, reduced work schedule, extra leave program, you're wasting money and opportunity, because you're probably continuing to pay their benefits unless you're really on top of it and cutting them off with your FMLA letters. And you're giving the employee an idea that they get to keep doing this somehow yearly, if you're doing it that way for chronic condition, and that somehow they don't ever really have to perform all the functions of their job. And the ADA conversations that I have with employees, I like to start with, well, let me tell you what the ADA is for. Not what do you need from me, but what is the eligibility for this benefit, and do you qualify? So if you are running into an antiquated workers' comp approach to managing FMLA and ADA, give us a call or submit another question. It will help you sort out the differentiation between these regulations. Thank you. Okay.